Located in Landover, Maryland, FedEx Field has the largest capacity in the NFL, and it will host what we hope will be an excellent matchup between New York and Washington. And now we'll go to Tom Hammond and Chris Collinsworth for the opening kickoff. Tom?
With a beautiful day in the forecast, we'll get ready for today's game. Hi, everyone. Tom Hammond here, along with Chris Collinsworth. He'll take it from the 2. Chris, what are your thoughts on this one?
We should see both of these teams trying to establish a good balance on offense in this one. Whoever can do that should be able to win this thing.
He looks to throw on first down. Throws it short. Tackled at the 35. Gain of 4 on the pass. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Ball on the 35-yard line. On the ground with a tailback. He gets out to about the 38-yard line. Jones gets 3 yards on the play. They line up at the 38. Jones is the single setback. The Jets put a man in motion. Makes the throw out to his right. Torrance gets his hand on it. And the pass was knocked away at the last minute.
Well, at the end of the game, you go back and you basically say what happened on 3rd down, and you have a pretty good indication of how that game came out. Good play by the defense.
Gets his leg into it, and he got a huge punt here. Randall L. fields it at the 22. They really did a good job keeping him contained on that one.
Boy, he hardly had any room to do anything there. They've got to come up with a better scheme or some better blockers or something. This guy's a good punt returner. He's just not getting any help at all from his teammates.
They'll give it off here. What a hit. I don't think he even saw that guy. Gain of 4. That brings up 2nd down. It's 2nd and 6 coming up. Ball on their own 30. Campbell is in the shotgun. He has 3 receivers split out wide. Drops back to pass. Short throw to the right. Catch is made. Defense pushes him out of bounds at the 35. And quite a catch that time. He just went up there and grabbed it.
Typically, receivers are a little taller than defensive backs, so it's not a bad play on occasion to throw one up and let your guy try and go and out-jump the defender.
There we go.
He's going to take off. Slides down. Looks like the containment just broke down on that one, and they end up giving up the first.
Defense is all about gap control. All you have to do is maintain your one gap. If one guy blows it, you can give up a big play like that.
Short pass to his left. Elam bats it down. A great play by the defense to knock the ball away.
And these defenders have been close all day. You better be careful if you're the quarterback. One of those is going to turn into an interception.
Looks to pass. He needs to get the pass off. He took a shot at the 44-yard line. They pick up solid yardage there.
And I love to watch this wide receiver work. He is so patient with his routes. He gets down low into his cuts, and he really understands what the defense is trying to do to take him away, and he is working them over.
Huge hit at the 45-yard line. The halfback just couldn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Loss of 1.
Wow, did you see the hit on that play? That's one of those you kind of stagger back to the huddle and you talk to the quarterback and you say, how about a pass on this one?
Back to throw. Scans the field. And it's completed. Pretty nice read on that play to find the open man.
Yeah, the two of them really have been working hard, building a rapport in practice, and now you're starting to see some of those results out here on the field.
He throws right. He's tackled at the 28-yard line. Nice job by the quarterback. to hit the tight end for a decent gain.
You know, tight ends may not come up with those real explosive plays down the field all the time, but they sure are a nice target for the quarterback.
Campbell hands off. Stiff arms, and he's brought down. They keep it on the ground, and the halfback gains about 7 yards. The Redskins come out with the offset eye. It appears someone jumped early.
Full start, offense.
He moved a little early on that one.
I used to always think that offensive linemen should go to the line of scrimmage and hold up either one finger or two fingers and look down when they get confused.
Let's go get it, baby. Come on, man.
On play action, throws it out. They picked it off. They collide in the air. Well, he looked like he was in the right place at the right time.
Unless you're the quarterback, then he was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
The Jets line up with an offset eye backfield. They give it to the tailback. Brought down at the 29-yard line. 2-yard gain. That'll bring up second down. Second down, 8 yards to go. Ball on the 29-yard line. New York is going with the offset eye backfield. Pennington looking to throw. With the pass. Is there for the catch. And they get him at the 36-yard line. Just a short, efficient throw that time.
Yeah, a true sign of patience on the offensive side. You let the play develop. You find the open receiver. Maybe he takes a look down the field. It's not there. Just go ahead and take that safe throw.
And they use motion. He fakes it. Passes to his left. Knocked out at the 38. So on third and short, they move the chains with the pass.
And that was a good job by the receiver that time, knowing just how much he needed for that first down. Didn't get anything extra, but he got the first down.
They'll go with the run once again. Makes a cut, and he will be hit and dropped. Jones gains about 5 yards on the run. New York is going with the offset eye backfield. Play fake. Here's the throw. There for the reception. Stiff arms, and the defender still makes the tackle. That pass is good for a first down.
And he had some zip on that one, didn't he? He reared back and threw that one about as hard as he could.
The Jets line up with 3 receivers, the quarterback in the shotgun. Drops back on first down, rifles it to the right. He makes a great open field tackle. He put something extra on that throw, and it'll keep the chains moving.
And that's really what it takes sometimes, because defenders are so quick out there. If you don't put a little extra pop on it, they can get there.
He's hammered in the backfield. The defense got the job done on that one.
Really impressive play that time by this defensive line. It wasn't just one guy, but every guy up front just dominating their guy at the point of attack.
Pennington hands off. He didn't get back to the line. Nothing doing. They stop him for a loss.
And I really like the discipline of this defense. You never see these guys trying to do too much. They control their gaps, and that time there was nowhere to go.
Pennington hasn't missed yet. Here's the pass. He couldn't hang on to it. Incomplete pass to bring up fourth down We're probably looking at a field goal attempt right here.
Yeah, 4th and long, really no choice in the matter here. I think they'll go for 3.
The snap, set down, the kick is up. What an excellent kick.
I don't know about you, but I was getting ready to question the coach's decision on that one, giving him an opportunity from that distance. But boy, did he ever make that coach look smart there.
Here's the kick, taken from the 3-yard line. And he gets brought down hard. The quarterback and his receiver were clearly not on the same page last time, and it led to an interception. Washington comes out with 3 receivers in a single back formation. They hand it off. He's dropped at the 33-yard line. Portis picks up 5 yards with the carry. The Jets bring in the nickel package.
Come on, D, let's get off the field now. Make a stand, G.
Campbell back to pass. He needs to make a decision. Brings this one in. He's brought down at the 37. Short pattern results in a completion for the offense.
You know, that's not one of those plays that's a huge gain by any means, but that's really the essence of an offensive game plan. You have to start hitting some of those short intermediate routes, and that begins to open everything else up.
And they'll try and get the first through the air, looking for a receiver. He's there for the catch. And he's hammered at the 42, and that will be enough for the first down.
You know, it really wasn't a horrible call that time by the defense, but anytime you have to try and stop an offense like this in those medium yardage situations, you really have to come up in the coverage.
Tight coverage, and it's picked off. Brought down around the 46-yard line. Great catch by the linebacker. Not a smart throw from the quarterback.
You know, it's hard to believe that you can lose a guy that big, but sometimes those linebackers dropping underneath in coverage, quarterbacks just don't see him, and he threw it right to him.
Pennington gives it up the middle. Tackled at the 49-yard line. He rumbles ahead for around 5 yards. It's 2nd and 5 here. Ball on the 49. New York is going with the offset I backfield. Drops back to pass. Throws on the run. Springs gets the pick. The defender gets him to the ground. Why did he even make that pass?
Yeah, Tom, I think he got baited into that throw. He thought the defensive back was going elsewhere. He did a little fake, came back in, made the pick. Just a real heads-up play.
Nice play fake. He's scrambling. And it's caught. Defense pushes him out of bounds right around the 36-yard line. Davis made the catch for a gain of 6. From the gun. Hands it to the back. He doesn't get back to the line. The defense just ate up that play.
Well, those defenders get paid too, and every once in a while they win the battle. Clearly that time they were all over this offensive line.
Throws it short. They don't hook up. We'll probably see the punt unit here as that incompletion brings up 4th down. It's 4th down. The Redskins lining up to punt. Gets the punt away. And they make the fair catch. It'll be interesting to see how this quarterback reacts after throwing an interception on his last drive. They come out in the nickel. He drops back. Looks left. Throws. He's dropped at the 29-yard line. 6-yard pickup. Second down now, 4 yards to go. Ball on the 29. Offset I formation in the backfield. Play action. He wasn't set when he threw. Brought down around the 46-yard line. A nice completion to the tight end.
I always thought tight ends were sort of like pacifiers for babies, you know, just about the time that you need a little security blanket, you know where to go.
He needs to get rid of it. And he caught it. Tackled at the 32-yard line. A decent gain on the pass.
And that's good quarterback play. He recognized the blitz, he understood what was happening with the coverage behind it, and found the open man.
They line up at the 32. Out of the I formation.
Hey, we gotta watch the ball, y'all. Blue 45. Blue 45. Let's get it. Now.
They keep it on the ground with the tailback. And they get him about the 25-yard line. They keep it on the ground, and the halfback gains about 7 yards. The Redskins line up with a nickelback. Pennington is looking to stay perfect on this drive. He's tackled around the 15-yard line. Not too bad a pass there.
Not too bad at all, and sometimes those little touch throws are actually more difficult than the bullet passes. Kind of hard to come up with the timing to hit the receiver right in stride, but that was well thrown.
Watch the back. Whoever got the back.
Jones on the inside handoff. Tackled at the 14. Less than a yard, and that will bring up second down. They'll face second down and 10. Ball on the 14-yard line. The Jets come out in the ace formation.
Let's get on. Blue 45. Blue 45. Tiger. Turn over,
They'll go with the run once again. Hit and drop behind the line. Well, they wind up in reverse that time. Good push by the defense.
And when the defense gets that kind of penetration, it just disrupts everything for an offense. They have to get that guy blocked.
He drops back. Looks for a man open. Brought down right around the 8-yard line. Quarterback finding some nice passing lanes early in the game.
Yeah, he is, and that's one thing you don't want to let this guy do. You don't want him in a rhythm early, or he'll pick you apart. He's proven that so far, and I don't think this defense has figured him out yet.
The snap, set down, the kick is up.
Field goal attempt.
And now we'll take a quick look at the drive summary. Decent kick. Taken at the 5. At the 30. Hit and dropped at the 36-yard line. They had to punt it away on their previous drive. Quarterback is in the gun. He has 3 receivers in the formation. First down, looking to throw. Defense closing in, there for the catch. He's dropped at the 47-yard line. Everything seemed to work perfectly on that one.
And that's a pattern that this team likes to run. You know they've been studying that all week on film, and yet they still can't stop it.
They'll give it off here. He's going to be tackled for a loss. Nice job by the defensive end to get in there and get the tackle for the loss.
So many times it's up to that backside blocker to get his guy on the ground, and it sounds ugly, but typically those guys are chopping at their knees and trying to knock them off their feet, so there's some cutback lanes.
Campbell will look to throw. Gets the pass away. He's brought down at the 46-yard line. Cooley picked up 6 with that grab. 3rd and 9. Ball on the 46-yard line. They line up in the quarter defense looking for the pass. Campbell set to go to the air. Throws while on the run. Brought down right around the 40-yard line. Still not quite enough, however. They'll still be facing 4th down. And they can really put their opponent in bad field position with a good punt here. He punts it. Into the end zone for a touchback. The offense takes the field, hoping to come away with more than just a field goal on this drive.
Blue 45! Blue 45!
Pennington back to pass. The pocket is collapsing. He throws left. Tackled at the 29-yard line. They hook up for a pretty good gain on that one. Nice pass.
Yeah, good pass and good confidence by the quarterback there. He saw the opening. He knew there was a spot that he could get that in there, but you could see he had the confidence to let this receiver make a play, and that's really what pro football is all about.
On the ground with a tailback. They tackle him for a loss. Great penetration there.
Yeah, if you're going to run a delay, you have to at least give your running back time to get the ball. That time, with all the penetration, they almost took the handoff.
Setting up play action. It's completed. And they get him around the 34-yard line. Chris, they'd love to run that play.
Yeah, that's one, if you study this team on tape, you're going to see them go to that in the clutch, and it worked again.
They keep it on the ground with the tailback, and he will lose yardage on the play. He tries to wriggle away, but he's stopped for a loss.
Well, Tom, the offensive line just didn't get any push there. They've got to do a better job knocking those guys off the line of scrimmage.
Jones gets the carry left side. Cuts back, and he's dropped. Picked up maybe a foot or two, and so it'll be 3rd down. That brings up another 3rd down attempt. The defense is in the 3-2-6 defense. He drops back, scans the field. No connection there, and the pass will fall incomplete. 4th down coming up.
And those are the kind of big 3rd down plays you have to have on defense to get the ball back and give your team a chance on offense.
Graham will kick it away, and boy, did he get all of this. What a punt. Randall L. takes it at the 25. He makes a move, and he's brought down. The defense could do no wrong the last time this team had the ball. The offense will start at the 44-yard line. 1st down, 10 to go. The Redskins put a man in motion. Fires it out. He's tackled at the 48-yard line. Strong, accurate throw leads to a pretty good gain.
Now, they didn't pick up the 1st down that time, but you drop back, you make a good throw like that. Now you're in position to try and pick up this 1st down.
Campbell back to pass. On the run, he throws it. They picked it off. He's brought down right around the 26-yard line. And chalk up another one for this defense.
3 picks on the day, and every time you think this offense is starting to get it going, they turn it over again.
Out of the I formation. Rifles this one out to the middle. Throws into coverage, and it's intercepted. And the defense just came away with their second of the half.
This defense is good, no question about it, and I like the way they're changing their looks out there, sort of like a good pitcher. They're not letting him settle in on one particular defense and really taking advantage of them.
Go get it, baby.
Portis on the give. He lost yardage on the play. The offensive line didn't get much of a push on that play, and the runner was stuffed.
Well, that's what happens when defensively you get every gap covered. There is simply nowhere to go with the football. No chance for the running back that time.
He's looking to throw. Guns it out. He's dropped at the 35. Not a bad pickup that time.
Yeah, the defense came with pressure, but they couldn't quite get to the quarterback, and they paid a price. He got it out of there, picked up a nice gain.
Looks to pass. Dumps it out right. No completion. That was just poor execution by the quarterback. He had a guy wide open out there.
And that's a throw you just expect a professional quarterback to make. He doesn't miss those wide open throws like that very often.
He's dropped for a loss. He couldn't get anywhere on that one.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to admit defeat on a play as a running back and just try and get that thing back to the line of scrimmage.
Washington sets up with 4 receivers. Drops back. Looking for an open man. Makes the catch. He's tackled at the 39-yard line. And for as good of a catch as that was, this offense now has to deal with a 4th down. New York looks like they're sending everything but the kitchen sink at this punter. He punts it. Washington fields it at the 26. The quarterback leads his offense back onto the field after turning it over on their last drive. The offense will take over at the 33. I formation here. Here's the give. What a move! Brought down right around the 36-yard line. A 5-yard pickup for the halfback. 2nd and 5. They're in the shotgun with 3 wide receivers. Looks to pass. Surveys the field. Nearly picked off. He should have had that one. What a play by the defender.
And the quarterback really caught a break on that one, that wasn't intercepted.
Pennington is in the shotgun. He has 3 receivers split out wide. Back to throw. Looking for a receiver. Caught out of bounds, incomplete. He couldn't get 2 feet in on that one.
Well, that's something receivers work on all the time, dragging that back toe, just unable to do it that time.
Gets it away cleanly. Randall L. fields it at the 22. He really didn't have any room to work on that punt return.
No question about it. He needs a little more help out of his blockers than he got right there. This is a dangerous guy, and if he can get in some open space, he can create some problems for you, but just no space to be found there.
The halfback with the carry. And he's decleated at the 29-yard line. They get around 5 yards from the halfback. From their own 29-yard line. The Redskins line up with 3 wide. And they'll run him again. He's dropped at the 35. He goes forward for about 5 yards there, and that gets them the first.
Sometimes defenses can stunt right past the draw play. Anytime you see those big defensive linemen playing the stunts and the different games they go up there, oftentimes they'll be so focused on trying to get to the passer, a draw play can run right past them.
And they get him at the 43-yard line. Nice job with the running back. That'll give him 7, maybe 8 yards. They'll come out in the eye. He gets another carry. He's tackled at the 44-yard line. The halfback picks up a yard.
Boy, he just took a shot on that one. As a running back, the last thing in the world you want is a short gain and a big hit.
He'll get the call again. Tackled at the 48-yard line. And they have a pretty nice drive going.
And the most important part of it is they've been able to get it done on the ground. Now that's 5 rushes so far on this drive and a first down.
Back to throw. All kinds of pressure. And it's knocked down. That incompletion will bring up second down. They line up at the 48. Washington lines up with 3 receivers. Looks for a man open. It falls incomplete. Moss was unable to make the catch on that pass attempt. And this is play number 8 on this drive. Campbell is in the shotgun. He has 4 receivers split out wide. Looks to pass. He throws it. Makes the reception. To the 20. To the 10. Touchdown. He hauled in that long pass for a touchdown.
What are you going to do? How do you defend that? That's just perfectly executed between a hot quarterback and a pretty good receiver.
Set down. The kick is up. Washington with a 1-point lead. And we'll take a quick look at the drive summary. And here's the kick. Miller from the 1. That was a great hit. He wasn't getting away from that one. Their last drive ended with a 3 and out. The offense will start at the 29-yard line. It's 1st and 10. They go with the run. And they get him around the 32-yard line. Just about a 3-yard gain. That brings up second down. They line up at the 32. Jones lines up as the single back.
Blue 45! Blue 45! Hey, inside. Scatter!
Setting up play action. Completed. He's tackled at the 44-yard line. You can tell these guys practice that play quite a bit.
Yeah, I can remember hearing stories about old-time players in the NFL that literally they could go out in the pitch black and make throws and catches without really even seeing the ball. That's the kind of timing we're seeing today.
He makes his way to about the 42. Good blocking up front and a nice gain on the counter.
Yeah, not often do you see those inside linebackers fooled like that. They took that misstep, came back around with the counter, just simply out of position. Those big offensive linemen able to get on them, pick up a big gain.
He didn't get back to the line. Tried to find something, but there wasn't anything there for him.
Yeah, not anything at all. And as a running back, you're probably going back to the huddle going, guys, a little help, please?
They keep it on the ground with the tailback. Brought down at the 44-yard line. Jones gets about a yard on the play from the 44-yard line. Big set this time with two tight ends. Drops back. Throws a bullet. Hatchery drops it. Hatchery was the intended receiver, and he can't bring it in. Fourth down. Looks like they'll kick it away here. Randall L. back deep to return. Gets it away cleanly. It'll go out at the 21-yard line. They were able to score through the air the last time they had the ball. Let's see what they planned for this drive.
You got that?
They come out with a big set.
Watch the ball. Let's go. Watch go. Put it up.
Hands it to the back. Hit hard at the 30. Great job of the running back. That's a gain of 9. I formation here.
Let's go get it.
He drops back with the throw. He steps out at the 49-yard line. And a great pass by the quarterback to convert for the first.
And what we're seeing out of this quarterback is a variety of throws. Yes, he has the ability to zip it in there when he needs to, but we've also seen some touch throws, a very complete repertoire.
He'll be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. No one picked up the linebacker, and it cost them.
And when your defensive line can handle their guys up front and not allow the offensive linemen to get down on the linebackers, it really gives those linebackers a chance to look great.
Drops back to pass. He doesn't get back to the line. They lose 3 yards on that one.
You know, sometimes as a quarterback, you have to be careful about dumping it down too quickly. Stand in there, see what you've got working down the field. That time they were all over that quick throw.
Looks to pass. Looks down the field. Almost intercepted. Thomas was the intended receiver, but the pass fell incomplete. New York looks like they're sending everything but the kitchen sink at this punter. Gets it away cleanly. He'll take it from the 18. Tackled at the 34. And that was a pretty nice return there, Chris.
He was just a couple of steps away from breaking that one all the way. This coverage team better start stepping up or he's going to take one in for 6.
New York uses motion. First down, looking to throw. They get to the QB. What can they do to tighten up the protection so he has time back there?
You know, quarterbacks get paid big bucks to put points on the board, make big plays. Well, defensive ends get paid big bucks to keep those quarterbacks from doing it. That time the defensive end got it done.
Back to throw. He throws on the run. He's tackled at the 48-yard line. Another positive gain, and that gives him 100 yards receiving for the game.
And this guy just knows how to make plays. He's somebody, we've watched him throughout the course of his career, but especially here today, constantly in big situations making plays.
The Jets go with the I formation. Here's the give. Brought down at the 48-yard line. Didn't get much. That'll bring up second down. They'll face second down and 10. The backfield is in the offset I formation. Pennington drops to throw. Throws it out, and he catches it. Tackled right around the 32-yard line. Excellent pass by the quarterback on that play.
I'm really enjoying watching the timing between this receiver and the quarterback. We're seeing a well-schooled offense now going to work.
The halfback with the carry. He's tackled at the 28-yard line. 5 yards, and that will bring up second down. Out of the gun.
This guy right here.
He drops back. Rockets it with the catch. And he's drilled at the 16-yard line. And they pick up the first down with a pass to the tight end.
If you're going to try and stop a tight end from catching those types of balls, you have to get physical with him at the line of scrimmage. If you give him free releases, he's going to wear you out.
Hit and dropped behind the line. Tried the run, but there was nothing available.
And if you can make a running back hesitate just a little, that time you could see there really was no hole, and the running back was just fishing for a place to go.
And there's 2 minutes remaining in the half.
Hey, tell him I just need a little bit.
2nd and 11 coming up now.
Watch the reverse. Hey, let's go now. 48. Let your man make 48. Ready. Overload.
Pennington hands it off straight ahead. And they get him at about the 13-yard line. Jones gets about 4 yards on the play. New York lines up in the offset eye this time. The Jets changing their play at the line. Pennington hasn't missed yet. Brings it in. He's dropped in the open field. Despite the great effort, it will still bring up 4th. This should be an easy field goal. This will be a 26-yard attempt. And he makes it. Well, that one looked like it was going wide, but it barely made it in.
That one just made it inside the upright. That's one where you see the field goal kicker going, but he got it.
Cartwright from the 1. And we have a flag on the play. This one might be on the offense. Here's the call.
Personal foul, clipping by the receiving team.
He needs to have a little better decision-making out there.
And that's a good call. That is such a dangerous play. When you're hitting a guy in the back, that's when some major injuries can occur. Good call by the officials.
Campbell with the give. He gets to about the 21-yard line, and they'll try to speed things up a bit. Portis is the deep back as they line up in the eye. Changing the play.
Come on, D, let's get off the field now.
Back to throw. Passes to his left. He's dropped at the 35. And this receiver just loves it when the defense is in man coverage.
Yeah, there's no better feeling than when you're coming off the ball and you know it's just you and the guy across from you. That's just good old-fashioned football, but you also know typically when you get man coverage, your quarterback is under pressure.
A good amount of yards that time on the pass.
And running backs who are good receivers are pretty rare. You know, a lot of times those guys, they come out and they're good running the football, but they don't make the kind of plays in the passing game. This guy can clearly do both.
Picked off. Tackled at the 37. Make that the 4th interception on the day for this defense.
Well, you have a football, a little wrapping paper, a nice bow on top, perhaps a little glitter, a lot of gift wrap presents for this defense today.
They give it to the tailback. He's hammered in the backfield. It looked as if the offensive line just collapsed.
And it looked like this defensive line just beat him off the snap. Sometimes those guys can time out the quarterback's cadence, and if the quarterback doesn't start changing that snap count, his offensive line's going to really struggle.
So that's their 3rd interception this half.
Well, it's the toughest thing in the world. You see your quarterback dejected like that, and your tendency is to want to yell at him. but at this point you have to start trying to build him up a little bit. Clearly he's lost some confidence.
Looking for an open man. He's dropped for the sack. Good job there by the end to get in there for the sack.
Man, I'm really impressed by that guy out there. You know, you try to single block him, you can't. You try and double team him, you still can't block him. There are some guys in the league that are just too good.
That'll be it for the first half of play. Our halftime score is the Jets 9, the Redskins 7. Kicks it off. Brought down at the 21-yard line. So as the offense heads back onto the field, we'll take this time to remind you that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game. Here's a draw. He's tackled at the 23. So the halfback gets 2 yards on the draw. 2nd and 8 coming up here. Washington lines up in a double tight set.
Let's go quick games, 44 press. 44 press.
Portis gets it on the inside. They tackle him for a loss. He was caught with nowhere to go.
This is a pretty good running back, and if you can hem him up like that, pretty impressive.
Washington uses motion. Makes the short throw. Out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. That completion won't amount to much, and they'll wind up short of the first on the play.
Very disappointing for an offense to get a completion and not get the first down. The receiver's job there is to make somebody miss. Clearly have to give the defense credit there. They won.
Gets it away cleanly. Washington fields it at the 38, and they get him right around the 46-yard line. Seems like the coverage broke down a bit on that one.
I thought they had him pretty well contained on that play, but he did find a small crack in the coverage, got it up the field. They were lucky they got hold of him. He could have broken that one off.
Tackled at the 49-yard line. A couple of yards there.
Nice call there by the defensive coordinator, coming with the outside linebacker blitz, which really put some pressure on this group up front.
They'll go with the run once again. He's tackled around the 49-yard line. The delay gets maybe 2 yards. The Jets come out in the ace formation. The Jets use motion. On play action, strong throw to his right. He's brought down right around the 38-yard line. And a big catch by the tight end.
And I can tell you this, there's nothing that defensive backs hate more than to have one of those big tight ends in the open field running right towards them.
Fullback straight ahead. Brought down right around the 32-yard line. They get 6 there. That brings up 2nd down. So 2nd down now. The offense needs about 4 for the first. He's dropped at about the 31. Gain of 2.
And that's why you send all those guys to plug up the holes, and that time there were no holes, really, and he was lucky to get anything on the play.
Fakes to the back. Throws it short. Pass completed. He's tackled around the 27-yard line. Great job to haul in that first down pass.
This team is just so good at executing those short, quick passes and picking up first downs and keeping drives alive.
Jones gets another handoff. Tackled around the 26-yard line. Jones gains about a yard on the play.
That was a big shot right there. You talk about getting your bell rung. That was the Liberty Bell ringing that time.
Gives to the back. And they get him right around the 24-yard line. Maybe a yard on the run by the halfback. Facing another third down situation, they've converted 2 so far on this drive. He drops back. Pennington can't escape the pressure, and that blitz worked to perfection.
As a quarterback, you understand where your protection is and what you can protect. If you can't protect a certain side, you have to throw it hot. That time the quarterback missed the hot read and paid the price.
Kicks it, got plenty of distance, and it's good. Here's a quick look at the drive summary. Here's the kick. He'll return it from the 3. They get him at the 25. The offense takes the field, hoping to put something together after their last drive ended in a 3-and-out. Single back formation. Portis gets it on the inside. Dropped behind the line. Nice stop on that play.
Yeah, great defense at the point of attack, but also very impressive the pursuit to the ball. They were all coming there.
Handoff on the draw. He's dropped right around the 26-yard line. They get 3 yards on the play. That'll bring up third down. They'll need 8 here. Campbell is in the shotgun. He has 3 receivers split out wide. They motion to the left. Looks to pass. Goes through his read. Dropped an easy one. Randall L. was the intended receiver, but the pass fell incomplete. From their own 27-yard line. Washington is back awaiting the punt. Gets the punt away. And they make the fair catch. They had to settle for a field goal on their last drive. They take the field again, looking to put up another score. Pennington is under center. Only one man back here. Throws on the run. Comes down with it. Tackled around the 49-yard line. A good play to the tight end that time.
And tight ends are so big that as coverage people, it's tough to figure out how to defend them. If you're on their left side, they throw it to their right side. If you're behind them, they throw it in front. Tight ends are tough to cover.
They go with the run. He's tackled around the 50-yard line. Gain of less than a yard. That'll bring up second down. And they'll line this one up with 2 tight ends. Give to the tailback. And they get him at midfield. He barely got it past the line of scrimmage that time, and that makes it third down. The backfield is in the offset I formation. Drops back to pass. He throws left. Brought down around the 45-yard line. Well, the pass was completed. They'll still be short of the marker.
You know, I just don't like that stuff, Tom. I call that chicken offense. You know, you go out there and you act like you're afraid. You're afraid to throw an interception. You're afraid to go for it down the field. You just settle and you bring the punter out. I don't like that.
Punts it. This one's going to go out of bounds at the 23. They were forced to punt on their last drive. They'll start this drive at the 23. First down now and 10 to go.
Here we go. Let's stop it right now. Hey, combo. Lucky 95.
They keep it on the ground with the tailback. He's dropped around the 30-yard line. Nice job with the running back. That'll give him 7, maybe 8 yards. Portis is the single setback. They'll give it off here. He lost yardage on the play. That cornerback just made this offense look bad.
One of the tough things about trying to get a cornerback blocked is how athletic those guys are. If you're a fullback or an offensive lineman or somebody out in front trying to make that block, it's just tough to get a hand on those guys. They're quick.
Fullback straight ahead. And they get him at the 35. It looked like the defense got caught a little off guard by the fullback getting the ball.
Fullbacks pounding the ball up the middle has become a lost art in the National Football League. But when you see how it can gouge a defense and pick up a first down, it makes that offensive coordinator want to think about him a little more often.
Feeds it to the back. And he will lose yardage on the play. The defense seemed to do everything right there.
And you love to see those linebackers playing downhill like that, not just flowing sideline to sideline, but attacking and trying to get in the backfield.
Portis gets the call again. He's tackled at the 34-yard line, and the halfback has nowhere to go. So another third down upcoming for the offense. Washington lines up with 3 receivers. Campbell calls for motion left.
Yeah, we see that screen. Come on, G.
Surveys the field. Tips it away. The pass was deflected and swatted away by the defender.
I think the quarterback may have had to throw that ball a little sooner than he wanted to. The pressure was starting to get there.
Frost kicks it, and man, did he get a leg into this one. Makes the fair catch. Let's see if the offense can put something together on this drive. They'll take over at the 21-yard line. First down now and 10 to go. Jones on the give. He's dropped around the 28-yard line. Takes the handoff and responds with a 7-yard gain. Pennington steps up to the line, 3 wide receivers.
Let's go, baby. Get the ball out.
Jones gets it on the inside. He's brought down about the 27-yard line. Almost got a yard, and so it'll be third down. New York is going with the offset eye backfield. And they'll run him again. He doesn't get back to the line. That series has to be disappointing for the coaches.
Yeah, their poor defense didn't even have time to go over and get a glass of water. All of a sudden, the punter's back on the field, and the defense has to go play again.
He punts it. Randall L. takes it at the 32. He is hit hard on the play. They had to punt it away on their previous drive. They'll take over at the 45. First down now and 10 to go.
Green, two-man. Set. Let's go. Over. Buffalo.
Looking to throw. The pocket is collapsing. Brought down right around the 48-yard line. Thomas made the catch for a gain of 6. That'll make it second down. Split backs in the backfield. Washington sends a man in motion to the right. Campbell set to go to the air. Looks for a man open. Makes the grab. And they get him around the 45-yard line. He gunned that one in there for the first down, didn't he?
He really did, and when you watch a guy throw a ball that hard, they don't move their arm any faster. You see him driving off that back leg. That was a pretty pass.
Hands it off. He fights forward to about the 43. The running back gains 2 yards on the carry. 2nd and 8 coming up here. Ball on the 43. They line up in a double tight set.
You got it. Here we go. Black Eagle. You got that? Eagle. Let's get it.
They'll keep it on the ground again. Tackled around the 39-yard line. Portis gains about 4 yards on the play. Campbell lines up in the shotgun. He has 3 receivers. He's brought down right around the 38-yard line. Got a couple, but will still be short of the marker.
Yeah, and for a minute it looked like he might slip out of there, but the defense got there. The pursuit was all over it, and they made a nice stop.
He punts it. It'll go out at the 15. Not much you can do on the return team there.
Great kick, and even better coverage. Boy, it sure makes winning the field position battle a lot easier when you have special teamers like this.
He fakes it, dumps it out left. Out of bounds, right around the 16-yard line. It's completed, but the defense appeared to be waiting for it. Not much there at all.
That's part speed and part anticipation by this defensive unit. They're always in great position, and you'll rarely see them get burned on passes like that.
Fakes the run. Gets the pass out. Smoot bats it down. Oh my, the quarterback is lucky that one wasn't intercepted.
Yeah, you try and fit some of those into some tight holes, and every once in a while, you're going to get one pick, but that was a pretty good play by the defense.
48. Let's go. Zebra. Hey, inside. One's a hard count. Play your assignments, man.
Looking to throw. Scans the field. Pass is complete. He's dropped at the 32-yard line. And that one will go for a first.
And really top-notch quarterbacks know how to throw a football in there without leading his receiver into trouble. That was a great throw.
Scatter. Left 21. Here we go, team.
They'll throw on first down. Throws it. Catch is made. He's brought down at the 41-yard line. They complete a long pass play.
After a big play like that, it's really important for the offense to get in the huddle and get out, keep this attack going. Right now they have the defense on their heels.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 41-yard line. Pennington is under center. Single back formation this time.
Hey, let's go.
Little handoff. He's tackled around the 24-yard line, and that was a nice job to pick up the first down.
Nothing makes a defensive coordinator cringe more than seeing that kind of run, because then it sets up the play action, and there's almost no way to stop an offense if you can't stop the run and you have to deal with play action.
He looks to throw on first down. Throws while on the run. Tackled at the 11. Great time for that type of pass. It worked to perfection.
And that was a nice job by the offensive line, allowing the quarterback enough time to survey the field and find the open guy.
Pretty low-scoring event as we head into the fourth with our score, the Jets 12, the Redskins 7. From the 11-yard line. Tries for the end zone. Not much room to throw into, and it's intercepted. That one just cost them a shot at points.
And really, this quarterback is better than that. He knew better than to throw that ball. He just made a mistake. I'm just not sure what he was thinking there.
They line up at the 5. Campbell lines up under center. 3 receivers are split out wide. Gives it off. And they get him around the 7-yard line. Portis gains around 3 yards on the run. They line up at the 7. The Jets line up with a nickelback. Looks to pass. Rockets it out. He's tackled around the 21-yard line. That was a good-looking throw.
Yeah, great throw, but maybe even a better read. He understood by watching what the defense did after the snap of the football exactly where to go with that ball.
It's the tailback. Brought down at the 23. And a pickup of about 2, and that will bring up second down. The Jets bring in their dime package. And they motion a guy to the right. Campbell drops back. And it's completed. And they get him at the 28-yard line. He delivered a nice throw on that drop back, completing it for a pretty good gain.
You know, there aren't many guys who work any harder than this guy, both in the offseason and during the week of practice. He isn't the most physically gifted quarterback I've ever seen, but you can tell the time he puts in the film room, in the weight room, and he understands the game of football.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 31. Single set backfield. Portis gets it on the inside. Hit and dropped behind the line. That defensive lineman just seems to have a knack for finding the ball carrier.
Yeah, and we know defensive ends are probably some of the most athletic guys in the league, and typically you think about them getting after the quarterback, but that time he used his athleticism to make a big stop in the run.
Gets the pass away. Huge tackle. He was gone. A little trickery by the quarterback paid off in a big way.
You know, really the best quarterbacks are almost magicians out there on the field. A little sleight of hand, little make you look here and think you see something you don't really see, and then they burn you on the back end.
The big game through the air sets the offense up with another 1st and 10.
Let's go left. Left. Let's go. Let's go. Overload. It's on the run. Wait.
On play action. Gets away. Scrambles for yardage. He's tackled around the 35-yard line. So the quarterback scrambles for about a yard. Here's play number 10 on this drive. Portis, the lone back.
Let's make this run, baby. We up. Here we go. Empty.
Nice play fake. He's running out of time. Campbell can't escape the pressure. They're going to need to tighten up their blocking, or this could turn out to be a very long game for the quarterback.
No kidding. I'd hate to be that quarterback right now. Clearly, this offense is having trouble recognizing the blitz, and even if they do recognize it, they can't block it.
Looking to throw. Looking for a receiver. Hit him in the hands, but he can't hang on. The defender gets a hand on it, and that will bring up 4th down.
I don't know if that's the guy I want to pick on 3rd down when you have to have a conversion. He is tough.
Gets it away cleanly. This one's going to go out of bounds at the 18. You have to like it when your punter can pin the ball inside the 20 like that.
Now, this has got to be one of the tougher punts to make here. It's so easy to get a little too much on the kick, sending it into the end zone for a touchback. He did a great job hitting it just right on that one.
Give to the tailback. Tackle around the 21-yard line. Jones gets 3 yards on the carry.
Man, oh man, that's what those defensive guys live for right there. A shot like that, and then they always get up and have a little something to say to you as you're going back to the huddle.
He's looking to throw. He's dragged down on the play. The defense just flexed their muscles on that one.
How many times do you see a team perfectly execute a blitz pickup and simply can't block the guy? And there's nothing the coaches can do there. They did their job, but the guys just got overwhelmed.
Pennington with the give. He's dropped at the 19. What happened on that series, Chris?
The defense was good and the offense stunk, Tom. What else you need to know?
Graham is the punter. Punts it. Randall L. takes it at the 43. He got everything he could, but there really wasn't much there.
Yeah, he really didn't have much of a chance at all to make anything happen there. I mean, I know this guy's a dangerous punt return guy, but you can't do it on your own.
Portis on the handoff. And they get him at the 45. That's a 1-yard pickup.
The defense did a nice job there jamming the running back, bringing the outside linebacker on a blitz. Sometimes those outside backers a little more athletic and can really help stop the run.
Watch the switch.
Gives to the back. He fights forward to about the 46. 1-yard gain on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down. Campbell lines up in the gun. He has 3 receivers in the formation. They go with the run. And it looks short from up here. Pretty conservative call for that situation.
Yeah, and especially when you consider that most offenses get between 9 and 12, 13 possessions per game. You call a run in that situation, basically you're taking away one of your opportunities.
And he should have had that one. They'll start at the 47-yard line. Pennington comes up to the line. 3 wide receivers split out wide. He needs to get rid of it. Smith was the intended receiver, and he can't bring it in.
2nd down.
They line up at the 47. Offset I formation in the backfield. Jones gets the ball. Carter grabs it on the ground. That fumble could have a huge impact on the outcome of this game.
What a big turnover that is. Just about the time you think this offense is going to take control of the football game, they cough it up, And oh my goodness, we have ourselves a ball game now.
Campbell back to throw. Throws to his left. He's brought down around the 33-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
And the defense gives up some free yards to the offense.
I always thought a defensive penalty was so much more deflating than an offensive penalty because on offense you have a chance to make up for it. On defense, a lot of times it's big yardage and automatic first downs.
And they're coming after him. Is there for the catch. Knocked out at the 11. Good read of the defense on that pass play.
Yeah, and throws like that really settle a quarterback down. It's all about getting into the flow of a game, and you can see he's getting comfortable now.
Campbell is lined up under center. Only one in the backfield this time. Under heavy pressure, Rhodes picks it off. He's in. Touchdown. Great play by the defender. He was able to take it for 6.
You know, some defensive players, you don't want to throw it in their zone because it might get intercepted. Some guys, you absolutely don't want to throw it there because they can turn it into a touchdown going the other way.
And they line up for the extra point. And the point after is good. Here's the kick. Randall L. fields it at the 7. He's tackled at the 33. Quarterback threw a pick on their last drive. Let's see if he's able to shake it off. Campbell comes to the line under center. Single back formation this time. Throws it short. There for the reception. He's tackled at the 41-yard line. Pretty risky throw that time, but it worked, so you won't see many complaints.
Probably the most dangerous throw in football right there. Anytime you see the quarterback throwing across his body like that, back into coverage, when it works, you go, boy, that looks pretty and that's easy to do, and you're always tempted to do it. But how many times have we seen a ball like that picked off?
He gets knocked out of bounds at the 43-yard line. They pick up 2 yards on the play-action pass. One man in the backfield. Back to throw. Strong throw. Tackled at the 27. That catch puts him over 100 yards receiving.
Not much doubt is there, Tom, as to who this quarterback likes. He found the guy that he's most comfortable with, and he doesn't care which coverage you're in. He's going to this guy.
Feeds it to the back. He's brought down right around the 22-yard line. A pickup of 4. That brings up second down. The Redskins come out showing 3 wide.
Let's go, baby. 98 Weasel. 98 under. Hey, watch this, man. 80 here, 80.
Campbell hasn't missed yet. Rifles it out there. He catches another. Some smart football by the quarterback on that last play, and he's now up over 300 yards passing for the game.
And this offensive line's been getting it done with pass protection. I don't care who you have playing quarterback. If that guy's back there getting hit, it is awfully tough to throw for 300 yards.
Goes for the end zone. It's incomplete. They complete the pass, but he was out of bounds when he brought it in.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe throw there where only the receiver can make a play on the ball. Just a little too wide on that one.
He fakes it. And the defense has a heavy rush. They picked it off. And he should have just thrown that one away.
Well, you always hear that sometimes it's better to just take a sack, and clearly there it would have been. Of course, it's really easy for us to say. We don't have those 300-pound guys chasing us.
Jones gets the carry right side. He gets to about the 31-yard line. That was an excellent run there to pick up the first.
Yes, sir. He really found a nice hole, was able to exploit it for a good gain. They're going to have to do a better job getting in those running lanes if they're going to stop him consistently.
Back to throw. Fires it out. Brings this one in. And they get him at the 46-yard line. They just couldn't get to the quarterback in time.
It's one of the dangers. You bring those extra defenders trying to get after the quarterback, and you're going to leave some man coverage on the outside. That time the quarterback able to take advantage.
Jones on the handoff. He didn't get back to the line. Not what they were looking for on that play call.
You know, for a running back, there comes a point in time where you say, all right, this play is not working. Let me just get as much as I can and try to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Jones on the handoff. Brought down at the 44-yard line. 1 yard on the play.
Ouch. You take too many shots like that as a running back, you start peeking around a little bit before you get that football.
Washington on the delay. He's brought down at the 49-yard line. He did what he could, but it still won't be enough for a first down.
And defensively, they'll give you a run like that. I mean, it's third down and long situation, and if you want to simply hand the ball off, take it. We'll let you punt the football, and we'll go back and drink some little water.
Gets the punt away. Down in the end zone for a touchback. On his last drive, the quarterback completed a pass, but to the other team. Throwing another one could be disastrous to this offense. Here's the give. They tackle him for a loss. Big-time play by the defensive end.
You know, listen, I would never want to block a defensive lineman, so I've seen these guys. I know these guys. They're big and they're nasty. But at least from an offensive standpoint, you have to try to get in their way.
Back to pass. He throws right. Tackled at the 27. Another fine pass and catch on that play.
I know we all talk about 40-yard dash times in the NFL, but as a receiver, if you are a great route runner and you understand what the defenses are trying to do to you, it doesn't matter if you run a 4.340. If you can get in and out of your cuts like this guy, you will always be able to play.
What happened there, Chris?
Well, they got caught in man-to-man coverage on that play, and I couldn't tell if the defender slipped a little bit or not. Maybe he just got beat on the play.
Let's go, baby. Get the ball out.
Back to throw. He needs to make a decision. He's tackled at the 46-yard line. He was lucky to get that one off. He was under a lot of pressure in the pocket.
Good patience that time by the quarterback, just checking down to the underneath route, giving his guy a chance to make a play.
Let's go. Fargo. Rule 45.
We have 2 minutes left to play in this game. Second and 6 coming up here. Campbell back to pass. He's been perfect on this drive. He steps out at the 49-yard line. The defense was right there for the stop on the play, not much of a gain at all.
Yeah, let's give a little credit to the coaching staff on that play. You talk all the time about film study and preparation and knowing what the other team is trying to do to you. That time the defense was all over it.
He drops back. On the run, he throws it. He's brought down at the 43-yard line. So they pick up the first down, and I wouldn't write this one off just yet.
But down 2 possessions, now you have to start working the sidelines and really thinking about the clock because you have to score here and get the ball back.
Huge pressure by the defense. And that makes the second time he's gotten to it.
Sack number 2 on the day now, and you can see his confidence growing. There comes a point in a game sometimes when you're playing against somebody that you just know you're better than that guy. And right now, the confidence is growing leaps and bounds.
Defense pushes him out of bounds around the 34-yard line. And another connection that goes for good yardage.
And we really see the trust that is developing between this receiver and the quarterback. That if the quarterback has confidence that you're going to be where he thinks you're going to be, he will throw it to you more often than he'll throw it to somebody else.
Campbell set to go to the air. It's a loose ball. Campbell recovers the loose ball. The ball popped out on that play, but they got it back.
And I can tell you this, just because you recover that fumble doesn't necessarily mean you're going to keep it. You have to be a man to hold on to one of those things at the bottom of the pile.
He's dropped right around the 36-yard line. They'll take over at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Offset I formation in the backfield. There's a play fake. Landry bats it away. So instead of running out the clock, they elect to pass, and I got to say, scratching my head on that.
Well, that makes 2 of us because the risk of throwing an incompletion or even an interception there far outweighs the benefits of trying to throw that football.
Gives it off. Brought down around the 37-yard line. The fullback gets back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd down now, 9 to go. Ball on the 37. The backfield is in the offset I formation. Little handoff. It came loose. Richardson grabs it up. He really needs to do a better job protecting the ball. If he doesn't, the backup might see a few carries.
And this is a talented guy, it really is, but he does have a little reputation for putting the ball on the ground.
Randall L. fields it at the 26. Tackled right around the 36-yard line. They gave up way too many yards on the return there, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, without a doubt. As part of the coverage team now, you've got to free yourself from that blocker as quickly as possible. And if you can't do that, you're going to give up some big returns.
Let's go get it.
Campbell will look to pass. They get to him. That guy just took a huge hit on that sack. That's one of those plays where you're glad to see him walk away.
This quarterback's a tough guy, but man, you don't ever want to see your quarterback take a shot like that. That kind of a hit can really change the complexion of a game.
It's a fake. Short pass to his left. He's going to be tackled for a loss. They lose a couple there.
Boy, that's just great anticipation by the defense there. They saw that play coming and were all over it.
Campbell drops back. Throws middle. He's brought down at the 37. And this one's over. Our final score is the Jets 19, the Redskins 7.